So, you want to be a VTuber? You want to be a cute little anime girl, or a cool spooky man? Or just want to have a cartoon version of yourself? Or maybe you just like to be anonymous while you stream? Well, you've come to the right place. As someone who's been around the block or two in the VTuber space, I feel qualified enough to help you out. My qualifications are that I am a cat girl on the internet. So let's help you decide what kind of VTuber is right for you. Hey there, my name is Lumi. I'm a virtual content creator and VTuber, and I've been streaming in the space for 5 years, but only recently set my account for my current VTuber. In all my time streaming, I've always used a model. I started out as a PNG tuber. It was easy for me to set up, and since I do art, I made my own PNG model. And I also made them for my friends. It was my first foray into the streaming scene as well. But as I progressed, upgrades were made, and I moved to a more detailed PNG tuber with a persona, and then to a full live 2D model. And then I moved from that one to this lovely customizable from the wonderful Sinmaku. So today, I'm going to go over each type of model and talk about the pros and cons of each, and maybe it might help you decide which one is right for you. First up, we have PNG tubers. A PNG tuber model is a 2D virtual avatar that is usually made up of static PNG images that will be their persona. These models have different states, such as closed mouth or a talking mouth, which can be changed based on when a person talks. So let's get into it. The pros. This method is extremely accessible and low budget. Because it tends to be simple static images, it can be easier to get commissions for it, find cheaper pre-mades, or just make it yourself. I made one for days when I don't feel like setting everything up. Look at him! Look at him go! It can be as simple or as extravagant as you'd like. With how many images and states you create, there are so many possibilities. Depending on the program you use, it can be as simple as mouth closed, mouth open, or if you want to really get into it, you can create states where your avatar is angry, or sad, or lovey-dovey, or more. I've seen folks even go further beyond and make some crazy intricate PNG tubers. It's less taxing on your computer. Because it has less moving parts than a live 2D model or a 3D model, it is easier for lower-end rigs to run. If you find yourself struggling to run a bunch of programs at once, like your game, OBS, Mix It Up, and more, this might be the way to go. Less expectations for VTuber lore. While it is not required for VTubers, I feel like there's some unspoken rule that you've gotta have some interesting lore when you VTube, but for PNG tubers, it's a lot simpler than that. Honestly, I think you can just make a PNG tuber of yourself and it's totally fine. It's another version of faceless streaming that adds a little flair. Alright, let's get into the cons. There is limited expressiveness. Unlike other models who have more complex motion with real-time movements, PNG tubers have more limitations on their animations and range. Their static nature makes them feel less alive compared to other models that can react more naturally. And yes, you can make more emotion states to supplement this, but it's still going to feel more rigid than the real-time tracking that live models have. Negative criticism. Apparently there is negative stigma for being a PNG tuber. People believe it is low effort and lacks the same labor others put into more complex models. And some people just don't take them as seriously. Full disclosure, I think this is a load of hose poop. But there are people who do think like this. Slower growth. As VTubing becomes more popular, there are higher expectations on the type of content people are looking for. PNG tubers may be less eye-catching and prompt viewers to click away. So, I think there are some things to consider when picking up PNG tubing. As someone who started there, I think the pros outweigh the cons, but I digress. Let's move on to live 2D models. A live 2D model, or most commonly referred to as simply VTuber, is a virtual avatar who uses a fully artist-made and rigged 2D model alongside motion tracking technology to control their avatars in real time. The pros. Very expressive. There's so much you can do with a live 2D model's expressions. The expressiveness allows for fluid and natural movements. Depending on your program, you can get some in-depth lip syncing and even go as far as sticking out your tongue, winking, and cheek puffs. Wonderfully intricate. Due to the nature of how models are made, as long as your rigger knows what they're doing and your artist does too, you can make some crazy intricate models and toggles. I feel like with how far technology has improved, our only limit is the space of our imagination, and how many layers it takes. Most common style of model. Because this is the most common style of model, it's something people are familiar with and are able to connect with better. You're probably going to be a lot more popular with a live 2D model. And so, it is widely more available. Because of how common they are, there's a lot more accessibility on how to get models. You can get pre-made ones, a customizable one like yours truly, or even go fully custom. Though I don't recommend that for beginner BT dubs. And now the cons. High expectations. Because of how VTubers in the space have set the scene, there are higher expectations for folks who VTube. They expect you to be excitable and entertaining. They want you to have buckets of lore, create a whole debut video, sing, dance, or more. You can't just be some person on the internet who likes to be a cartoon character. It suddenly has to mean something, or it's not enough. Oversaturated space. The space has been around for a while now, and it's incredibly overpopulated. Everyone has done everything at some point or some variation of it. I mean, how many cat girls have you seen? A lot, I know. If you aren't doing something different, you're just going to fall into the faceless sea of other VTubers. Taxing on your computer. VTuber rigs have a lot of moving parts, literally, and getting them to do what they do is no easy task. And trying to run that program, along with a game, OBS, and a million other programs that VTubers might use, can be really hard on some PCs. I know for me, I started running into problems using my model on my main computer that I had to stop and consider if VTubing was something I could actually do. And I don't have a low-end PC. I don't have a high-end PC either, but even standard rigs are going to see some issues. I think Live 2D can be really fun if you got the guts to handle it. Sometimes just getting started is harder than all of the cons combined. Last, let's talk about 3D models. 3D VTubers are folks who use a 3D fully rigged virtual avatar alongside motion tracking technology to control their avatars in real time, similarly to Live 2D models. The pros. Full motion. Unlike most Live 2D models, 3D models have way more range of motion and allow for full body tracking. This allows for things like dancing. Way easier to make on your own. There are programs that make it easy to create 3D avatars with pre-made assets that people can customize to their liking. I actually went into VRoid Studio and made this in like 30 minutes with no experience with the program. It's obviously a little rough, but it's a good place to start. Very uncommon. There is a uniqueness that comes with 3D models. While there are many out there, there aren't nearly as many as there are 2D models, and that rare nature of them makes them really exciting to see. Extraordinary designs. Similar to 2D models, 3D models can get way more detailed, and since the range of motion is increased on a 3D model, there are even more ways to add to the model to make them cool and unusual. Alright, let's hit the cons. Hardware tax. This is probably the most taxing model that will affect your hardware. You will need a high-end PC. Not only that, but you'll need specialized equipment for full body tracking, such as a VR set or a motion capture suit. Obviously, you can just do simple face tracking, but it's still enormously taxing on your rig. Higher customization cost. It's way harder and more expensive to find artists and riggers who are doing custom 3D models. Not beginner friendly. Because of its steep custom costs, the high hardware tax, and just overall complex program setup, it's simply not beginner friendly. 3D VTubers are rare, and rightly so, because the upfront costs are more than people are willing to handle, but I think their uniqueness sets them apart from the crowd. Overall, there are a lot of things to think about when picking up a model, but the two most important things to me are, am I going to like how I look, and can my computer run this? Because you can look cute as hell, but if no one can see it because you're lagging every 2 seconds, it's not fun for anyone. It's okay to start small and see if this is right for you. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good. And that's all for today. If you learned anything or like listening to me yap, please let me know, like and subscribe, and I'll see you kittens later. Bye!